shit.
Hi, guys. Welcome to this episode of the Trainer Feed. We are your host. I am Angel Sanchez. We have DB, David Bravo,
Hello.
and JD, Jack Delagere.
What's up, everyone? How you
Today's.
feeling, Angel? Oh, my
Oh,
bad.
I'm feeling good, man. Thank you for asking. How are you guys feeling?
Yeah, we're good. David's back with us after a little time off last week, but you're good, right, man?
Yeah, man. I'm not dying. I'm still here.
That's always a positive.
Still here. Yeah. So, what was up? Do you want to talk a little bit about it? Your experience? What happened? People
Me?
were missing you. Yeah, Missy missed you on the last episode.
Oh, missing me. Um, I was sick. I had like a really bad cold, and it happened Thursday night where I started feeling ill, and then Friday I just could barely talk. Like congested. I had headaches, runny nose, sneezing like hell, a little bit of body aches, and a very very slight fever. So then I was like, oh no, not again. Round two. But I went to City MD that night, and I said, "Hey, can I have a COVID test?" They're like, "Why?" And I said, "Because I want one." Like, what? So they're like, "All right, go check in." So I check in, and then the doctor asked me questions, and I told him what I was feeling and that I think I should have a COVID test just in case. So he gave me the rapid and then the PCR one,
Mhm.
and the rapid came back negative. PCR came back negative the next day or 2 days later. So yeah, I mean after that anyway, Saturday evening I started feeling better. Sunday I felt a lot better. Monday I was fine. So I don't know. I mean I did hear about something going around that like three other people told me they have, and a client of mine too. So who knows? Maybe it was that thing. But I started freaking out because I was reading about the Delta variant
That variant, yep.
symptoms, and it was like, oh no, like it was like runny nose and sneezing and congestion. I was like, fuck, man. Would I get this vaccine for nothing? So, so yeah, no, so I was fine. It wasn't COVID, so I was fine after like 2 days. Fucking
Cool.
To live
sucked
the
though. You
tale.
could barely sleep. You could barely like when you're at in your on in bed, you're so congested that if you I lay on my right side, so everything like falls to my right side, so I could barely breathe on my right nostril,
Mm,
and then it's so clear on the left one. And then if I'm like just laying back, it's just horrible. It was just bad. I couldn't do anything.
crazy stuff.
So yeah.
Crazy stuff. But we're happy that you're alive. We're happy that you're back. You guys want to talk about a couple of things today? I know, Jacques,
Yeah.
you had a couple of things that you wanted to
So
talk about.
we want to
I
keep
think
it
Jacques going
light.
to the Mediterranean.
So I didn't get that thing, guys. I'll tell you guys offline. But there was something where I thought I was gonna be heading to
Well, that's not what I was talking about. But okay, so that sucks too.
that.
Wait,
That does suck.
you got multiple flights. You got one to Italy and then one another
Nah,
to.
that's not happening anymore. I thought I was gonna get, and I didn't get it. But the way they would talk to me about it was very much so. We want you to do this. We want you to come here. This is what it'd be. This is that. This is that. And I actually, the story of this, they reached out to me an hour before my passport appointment at the post office. So with COVID and everything, I'm thinking because obviously, well, not obviously, but I became a U.S. citizen early this year. But I hadn't done my passport process because with COVID, I'm thinking I'm not going anywhere. So now that I thought, okay, well, we're gonna have to go places. Let me get it sorted. And so I go into the appointment thinking, oh, I should get my passport. So I was expedited because I want to be able to make sure that I can do this in 6 weeks' time, and it's 6 weeks next Wednesday. And so I expedited it for to not get it. It was a little bit upsetting, but it is what it is. Everything has a reason, but we are looking to actually go to San Juan for my birthday in August and probably California in September. But those aren't booked yet. But I don't know if you can fly to US territories without a passport. I'm not actually sure. I think you can.
Yeah, you
But
can fly with your ID.
driver's license, right?
Yeah.
So,
But you have to make sure. I don't know about the British Virgin Islands or whatever the other stuff are.
yeah, I'm not sure.
But
So,
Puerto Rico, you can use your ID.
but I think we'll be doing that. But I just thought, some things that with that opportunity that I thought I'd have, or just in general, like what do you guys think about? I know if if our viewers are watching this on YouTube, you'll see that Angel is not in his New York City apartment. But if you guys were to go to another city, an opportunity, whatever it is, like, do you guys ever think of that? Do you guys have cities in mind you would be, if you had to live in New York, like, what's the first place you go to? Or if there's an opportunity, what are those cities you guys have in mind that you would continue your fitness industry in?
I was thinking about that. I've been thinking about that for the past couple of days. So obviously, I took a small trip, and I'm not at home right now. But um, I was thinking after I set up the virtuals and I, you know, set up the Wi-Fi or whatever I needed, the personal hotspot, and there's a couple of things that I need to do, but predominantly my business is virtual. So it's like I could do. I was thinking like, where else could I go? Like I was sitting on the beach. I was like, shit, I could do this from Fiji. Shit, I could do this from the Philippines. Like all these things started popping up to me. Obviously, it doesn't work like that. Just because, my fiance works at the hospital right there in New York. So it's like, that's probably not a thing. Unless I just say, baby, I'm leaving for 6 months. I'm gonna be out. You can catch me on the islands.
Catch me out there.
But the other thing is the time delay too, right? So if you're still working, which I have been on this trip, being on the East Coast or close to the East Coast time zone really helps. Um, but if you're talking, what are you talking, domestically or internationally? Because that kind of opens it up.
Yeah, that's a good point. I really was thinking more domestically because I think I was talking to someone else the other day about the the luxury of fitness. I think it's very unique in New York City, and I think that we're very fortunate to do it in New York City. But I think if you go to other markets in the US, it's a bit of a different scene. But that's why
Mm,
I think I compare that to the UK. But if you think about Equinox, for example, has a couple of locations in London, and they're opening more ups there. I think it will be a case that they do expand. That's just the nature of that company. But that's
mm,
why I think, predominantly domestically,
mhm,
we've seen a few people move to Miami or to California. It just and we know a couple people that moved to Colorado, for example. I'm just very interested to see now that things, at least in the US, are pretty stable in terms of COVID. That we go mention it once, how things are. So, like, because we know people that once COVID hit, all right, I'm moving out of here. New York City isn't the same. I'm using this opportunity to go here or whatever, and just I'm always interested to hear like what you guys think, what your guys'
mm.
minds are at, and yeah.
I mean, yeah. Go ahead, David. David, you could say some shit. You like, I love New York. You're.
No, I think
Nothing against New
from
York,
from
but
where I've
Yeah.
been, the place I haven't been to many places, but I'd like to try Denver out. It'll either be like Denver, Philly, or Boston. To be honest,
Like the cold weather.
I like those spots. I like the cold weather, so Boston would be great. Denver's like fucking really cool. Um, that's it. I mean, I haven't been to many spots that's hot because I'm not the biggest fan of really hot weather. So these past 3 days were death to me. But
they're brutal.
I love the hot
yeah,
weather.
I think top of the list would be Denver, and then
Mm.
Philly, and then Boston. Because I mean, you're from New York, you don't go to Boston.
It's funny because I think we spoke to managers who were with us, who were in the company, and they spoke about, oh, if Philly opens up some facilities of a certain company, they'll be there. And it seems like it's a gap in the market. But I mean, I've never been to Philly. I know of it. I know Boston has quite the fitness scene there. But when we had Brendan on, for example, he said that it's pretty present, but it's not quite New York. He felt like Boston was. I don't know if they still was were a step behind, but he said it was just not identical. It was like a little off the pace of it, but in terms of trends or whatever. But I hear good things about Colorado too. Like it snows heavy in the winter, but I mean, we know people that moved out there, right? And
Mhm.
it's this time of year they're doing all the hiking and
That'll be
yeah,
cool. I like seeing some of those Instagram. I mean, obviously, shit on Instagram isn't always reality,
right,
but I think the backdrops to some of these places
for
in
real.
like Colorado are unbelievable. It's just you see mountains behind you, and it's just like, yeah, I'm just outside, right? Like I'm in a parking lot, and the parking lot is just like unbelievable.
Phenomenal.
It's phenomenal, picturesque. So that would be kind of cool to be in that area. I'm kind of with David in that. Like Colorado would be dope. Maybe somewhere more tropical. I would say like
The altitude
Florida,
for your
Miami.
cardiovascular system too.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I
that is
went to
true.
Boston, had to walk up a three flights of stairs, fucking dead.
Dead,
Oh my god.
finished.
And then when I came back to New York, I was like, this is fine. I walk up the stairs forever.
Yeah.
Boston's a cool city though. We went. It was summer of COVID, but it was pretty cool. I really like the feel of it. I know personally they're big on their sports as well, so that would like fit in real easy. And but like the food is pretty good there. The fact that it's on the East Coast, as you guys mentioned, like if you had to train clients, and that's a really interesting perspective though. You said, Angel, like if you were still out of town, you can train people. Like that's where I know that COVID has just been a really sucky situation, but if anything, our industry has really transformed or I don't know, really developed into something that makes us. I know we spoke a couple of episodes ago about like the what do we say about the importance of trainers in the future, and it's really, if anything, just consolidated our importance for our needs, for our presence in the industry. You know, for people always wanting that in-person interaction. But I love the fact that if we have clients that they're out of town, we're not. We're still keeping them. We're still keeping them according to that program. We're still keeping our business in check. Like it's such a good situation to find ourselves in. And like David, for example, like when you were sick last week, I'm sure if there was the event where like you didn't feel 100%, but like okay, you don't feel great, but I could maybe still do a couple of virtual. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's better for your business. It's better for the clients staying on track, and also from a health standpoint, if you're not feeling well, you're not going to go risk it, or you don't want them to feel uncomfortable. But like, hey, if we do it virtually, like everyone's staying safe, if that's a conscious concern, and you're still getting the program, you're still working, like it's a win-win.
I
And I
remember.
think,
Go ahead.
sorry, that was in my thought. Go on.
No, I was just gonna say. I remember in 76th Street, it was like if you were sick and you went to work, people were gonna jump you, like they were gonna beat your ass. Like, are you sick? You're sick. Get the fuck out of here.
They didn't
Like,
want you to spread it, yeah.
right?
Dude,
Because
I went to work sick as fuck before. I don't give a fuck.
I know you spread it around all
Hell
the
yeah.
freaking club all the time. I would stay home because the other thing is like you miss out, or we used to miss out. Right now with virtuals, you can do
You can
that
make it
stuff
up.
anywhere. But I would stay home because it wasn't only about me, but it was also about my client's health and then also the health of the others around me. I know David doesn't. David
I
said,
have 10 sessions in 2 days straight, and I'm sick. I ain't going home.
"Nah, man, you gotta go home." I remember just not feeling good enough.
I mean, I
guess
stay
when I
away
was
from
sick.
everyone else. I like walk in. I'm like, hello,
Nah, man, you
bye.
There's a
shaking hands, kissing babies.
Hugging people.
No, but I remember that was the culture back at 76 a while ago, where it was like if you were sick, just stay home, and it's important too because we don't have like the vacation days and all the other stuff like
That's the other thing
other
as well,
since
right?
we're
Like
kind of like independent freelancers to a certain degree.
we don't work, we don't get paid. That's usually how it is, unfortunately.
Yeah, but yeah, maybe Denver, maybe Puerto Rico. I like Puerto Rico. I got family there. That would be dope. But I also heard North Carolina is pretty cool too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What have you
I
heard?
hear it's booming over there.
Yeah, I heard like business is booming. I think the fitness industry is like on the upswing. People are just getting more conscious. Maybe even Canada, maybe Montreal. That would be kind of cool.
Toronto,
I've
I
never
hear good
been.
things about, but their winters are
Yeah,
brutal,
I
man. Like, and
know.
when Carmen tells me about how cold it is, or how cold it is here, it's like add an extra 5-10 degrees. She actually, I was on a call with her a while back, and it was so cold that her phone shut off. When phones shut off because of the heat,
Yeah,
shut off because of the cold.
that's
Yeah.
Isn't that
crazy.
wild?
That's crazy. I didn't even know. I mean, I guess it has to happen the other way
But I
around.
didn't know. I didn't know that happened either. But I guess if it was so cold,
I know it's so cold that because I was training outdoors this winter, this was a real winter. My freaking hands were freezing. I was like, don't call me, don't text me. Like, I'll get back to you later because I don't want to pull out my phone. I don't want to dig in, try to pull out my phone, take off the gloves, do the touch, whatever. It's like, it's too much.
and your toes as well. I think when you're outside, that was the other
Yeah,
thing. When the
I had to
cloud's
keep moving.
moving, Yeah, and like that was a whole other thing, right? Because you're used to training to go to the club and you take your layers off when you get there. When you're training to stay outside, you're like, no, you have to think about dressing 10 degrees colder, I think, right? I think you're going to be out there longer and your toes are going to feel colder sooner. But yeah.
Let's go to the other one. You were talking about certs. Go ahead.
Yeah, personally, one of the few ones I haven't done, strong first. That's one of the few ones I haven't done. And I think I'm going to be I'm actively looking about doing it. I haven't signed up to anyone, but I think that's just one of the few ones that I'm lacking. I know that Andrew Robbins spoke to us about what they require for the first one or the second level, and it just sounds like something that I'm missing. I think it's also not being not having any ego in this, but I think that when people hear that you're strong versus certified, they assume that your knowledge or your training style of kettlebells is of a certain standard. If that makes any sense.
You kettlebell master though.
It's just the name, you know.
Is it just yeah? But I think that when people have, well, see, then again, someone spoke to me about it, and they said that I think they told me that at Strong First, they try and teach you just when you do the swing to have it that it's with your arm straight as opposed to a soft elbow, which I'm not of that style, but I'm open to learning and trying, and I might think differently once I hear it on the course, but yeah, it's one of the ones I think. Again, Angel makes a good point that like David made a good point, but it's just a name. But I think that it's one of the more well-renowned ones, and I think it's yeah.
Is that hard style, or is that something completely different?
It's hard style.
I think it is. Yeah. But
yeah.
You don't have it, right, David? I thought you did for some reason.
Expensive.
What about you saw? I feel like David would be good with you saw.
I want to do that one. That one I'd like to do, but for a lot of those courses, a lot of times you have to travel, and I haven't read that they're around the city anytime soon.
That's my thing. I want to do it if it's around the city.
So I don't know. Maybe I'll do that one. I do want to do this Dan John as a course on like programming principles. That one's pretty cool, so I'll probably take that one. It's pretty cheap.
He's good as well. We saw him at the perform at a convention center, and he was very good about just being transparent. What are you laughing for? Because you mentioned California again?
Yeah. I was just smiling because every time we bring it up, David always gets. You see his face. He's just like, "Oh man, go ahead, talk about the thing that you didn't invite me to."
But he
We
was.
should do that. We should go to Perform Better Summit if they got one this.
I want to do it. Where are they? They're typically in Long Beach, California, Chicago.
I think they have some in Rhode Island as well.
Rhode Island, and there's another one. I want to say Tampa, Florida, or Orlando, Florida.
Oh yeah, I think either Tampa or Orlando. You're right.
Go see Mike in Tampa. What's up, Mike?
Yeah. So let's make this formal. David, would you like to come with us to a Perform Better Summit this year?
Sure. I just need I need some time.
What do you mean some time? Now you can make excuses.
Like y'all can't be like, yo, we're leaving next week. I'm like, wait.
That's not how we work. You know how we're very regimented.
Y'all gonna be like this. Y'all gonna get the flight like 2 months ahead.
We did do that.
And forget to tell me till like a week before. Be like, yo, you want to come? I'm like, yo, it's a week before.
You remember how we did it, and then Kelly was supposed to come with us, and he was like, no. I wait till like the week of because the flights drop down. I was like, week of.
No, I'm not waiting till
that. Right, and then by the time it was that time, he was like, "Yeah, I'm not going," because that price was crazy. Like went up 3 times as much.
You can go to Perform Better for free. You just don't get the cert if you didn't pay for it. That's right.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, anyone can just go, but you don't get the confirmed education because the way to see it is a cert, right? Because at least with NASM, if you attend it, you don't have to do any CEUs for 2 years. 2 years. And I was planning, right? And I was planning on doing in 2020 to go there. And that's why in 2020, when obviously nothing is open, nothing's happening, it was all virtual. But before they were doing all the virtual ones, which I know you guys did a lot of, I was like, all right, how to do my research? Because I was planning on going to, I hadn't done a recertification in 4 years at that point. So it's been a little bit a minute. I mean, I've done obviously other certifications, but PN stuff is yeah.
I got PN coming up this month. Actually, they said it expires in 90 days, so I got to do that.
I think I did mine a few weeks ago.
But But yeah, NSCA, they make it difficult. I think I spoke about this before. Like it's
Yeah,
hard to get
for the certs.
CEUs because they have it for select categories. So it's not like you can go to one seminar and make up your CEUs or two seminars. It has to be like a seminar, a workbook, another certification. Like they're all in different categories, and you have to complete a certain amount of CEU credits within each category in order to certify. You can't just like go heavy on like getting another certification or go heavy on seminars. You have to have a mixture of it, like reading research articles and then taking quizzes, attending live events, et cetera, et cetera. So, and
They make it
sometimes they don't even
difficult,
count
huh?
it.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah. So, but it's good at the same time because at least there's like a standard, right? It's not like you can just go to Joe Blow's toe touching workshop and then, put on like 30 CEUs and be like, oh yeah, I don't have to certify for the next 10 years because I took this workshop.
well, there's also with NASM, there's also stuff where you can be certified. I want to say you could pay for certification for 2 years, or one for 10 years, or one for life. Have you guys heard or seen about that?
That's crazy. I don't think you should be able to do that.
I don't think either. Maybe I'm just thinking of the fee. Maybe I'm thinking the fee is every 2 years or is a lifetime fee. But I think if you're a trainer for anywhere between 8 and 10 years, or eight years or more, it makes sense, like financially.
Yeah.
But I'll have to double check because I haven't seen it in a while. But that's why someone mentioned it. I think if it was Kelly when they said, "Oh, I treat my wife," because someone can go along, like still take the information in. Again, I could be making that up, but that's what I remember. So
that'd be cool. I want to do a workshop when we go back to in-person workshops and stuff like that. Do one that's something about the anatomy, human anatomy. I remember they had one where it was you can dissect, or they have somebody there and they take you through like dissection process of the human body, as well as like innervation with the muscles, with like I think they use like probes or something like that, and they innervate the muscle tissue or whatever, and then it just activates, and then you learn a little bit more about how the body's supposed to move. I would like to do something like that. I've never really worked with I forget the name of it, like the name of the, it's not a corpse, but it's something. I forget the name.
cadavers.
Cadavers. Yeah, I've never worked with cadavers in person. I think the thing was called Cadavers in Motion that I saw that I thought was pretty cool.
There used to be an exhibit near Times Square. It was, I don't know what it was.
We saw that one. The human
body
body exhibit,
and it's these bodies that are pulled apart in different ways, right? Like some of them, their head from their spine is taken apart, and it's a very interesting. People think it's too graphic. It's a very interesting look. Very very in depth, but
yeah, that was really good exhibit. Hopefully it's still there. I don't know because it was in that Times Square area, but
yeah, and it was also a few years ago, I think. I could be wrong. But besides that, did you guys have plans for the summer? I kind of briefed over mine earlier, but what do you guys have? I know Angel's out of town right now.
I'm going to Chicago in August.
Oh, what's in Chicago?
I'm seeing my buddy Sebastian, who moved over there.
Oh, he moved. When did he move over there?
He moved there like
2 weeks ago.
month and a half.
What's he doing? Playing with the Bulls up there? What's he doing?
2 months ago. I don't know. He's working.
Is he really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Why would he move and not have a job somewhere?
Yeah, I was like, why are you mad surprised? Like this dude, unless he thinks he's rich.
Because some people move before they get a job. Some people do. I'm not saying everyone does that.
I guess. I don't know.
That's true.
Some people find work when they go. They're like, "Oh, I'll find work." I'm not saying everyone, but I mean, I think that's a little risky and a little ballsy to do that. I mean, I came over to the States. I didn't have work or nothing. Look where I am today. No.
Oh, okay, my bad. Shit.
But anyway, you're going to Chicago. How long are you going for?
This guy. For like 4 nights, I think.
You gonna see Guillermo?
Maybe, yeah. Gotta ask this if I could get a pass to go into his club.
He's gonna make you use the camera foam roller.
The what?
The camera flash foam roller.
Oh, the camel roller. Yeah, it's like I've never seen another one like it. That's the only one.
Dude, perform better. We're like, this is the only guy we've sold it to.
Weird. They're selling them now for 75% off just to get them off the shelves. They're practically throwing at people on the beach. It's like, here, there you go.
No, we love Guillermo. That's just very. Hey, at least anyone who stole it, you'd be like, yo, that's mine.
True.
That is true.
Oh man,
That's very
what
true.
about you, Angel? You're in Miami right now.
Yeah, I'm chilling. That was more for my fiance so she can get out of the house. I mean, she's on the beach right now, which is kind of sweet. I was at the beach and I put sunblock on, and it was very difficult to get off. So there was a point at which I was like, "Damn, I'm gonna have to be late to the podcast because this shit is like my face looked like I just slapped my face across a chalkboard. Like it was just
Well,
hard to get off." But
that's
that's
Put
an
awesome, mate.
sunscreen on.
yeah, put like a little sunscreen on and whatever, and then I came out. You know how sometimes, well, you guys are more fair than I am, but sometimes you put sunscreen on and then it like has like that white like coating. So it just made me look like I was sick. So I was trying to get it off. I had to use like some makeup cleaner and it came off. But anyway, yeah, we haven't really thought too much about it. Maybe do something again like this where I'm like working for part of the trip, get somewhere, and then just take a week off. That would be pretty cool. But I don't know where. Maybe I don't know. I would love to do something international, but we just got to see how this whole thing unfolds. I just don't want to call it too early and then just end up being in a place where things are shutting down. That's the other thing that I'm
It's the
noticing
risk.
when I'm noticing while traveling, it's like there's a lot of places that are shut down or they're struggling to get business back. So, I saw so many help wanted, workers wanted, signs outside of these shops. It's been um, I don't know. It just makes you think about stuff a little bit more.
Great if they paid their workers more.
A lot of people, I heard something where they were talking about a lot of employers are finding it difficult to get employees. I saw a report yesterday that said that Burger King was trying to give a $1,500 bonus to new employees,
Damn.
which is like unheard of, right? But at the same time, it's like who's like lining up to work at Burger King, right? And then how are you going to be treated? How are you going to feel? I've never worked at a fast food place, but I can assume it's not great.
But you're saying help wanted. It's interesting because I think it's the same in New York as well, where they're struggling to get the same volumes of people wanting to work. And look, that could also be when you're talking about like Burger King or anywhere where often or not all the time, but quite frequently, some of these workers are also trying to make it on Broadway or they're trying to be
Mm-hmm.
actors.
Mm-hmm.
And if in New York City Broadway's still not open until another kind of a few months, then maybe there's no point in them being in the city. And like
Mm-hmm.
as we mentioned earlier, like people move cities, they picked a good time to move city and change. And it's like
Mm-hmm.
I had a client this morning. He said he was staying with the company, but he was going to move out west. And if it wasn't for COVID, he would have already gone. And he was lining up how to do the job, everything. And then with COVID, they just stayed. But so I think of it too. I think, oh, like, but I even spoke to Alex about it. I said, look, if summer 2021 is like 2020, I was even talking to her. I was like, is there much point being in New York? Like, really? Like, you can't do anything. And we were starting to speak about it. And so, look, like, we have to start thinking about the options of it. And it obviously hasn't happened. It's been almost back to what it was. Again, when body opens, it'll be funny. Again, even this variant, which is kind of hoping it's not going to screw us up, but I won't go into that. But I mean, it's a risk, as you said. You don't know. At the end of the day, the US is in a much better state than almost every other country in the world because of the vaccine rollout and the fact that we are. And trust me, like the fact you can go state to state, right, and or to different states, or to go on a like what's a Miami flight like 2 or 3 hours, and be in a completely different climate, completely different environment. Whereas when you're in the UK, like the furthest you can do is drive a few hours north, a few hours south. It's pretty much the same climate. Everything's the same. But the US, you have the luxury of being able to go to so many different places on a long or short flight, right? Depending on the fact that there's not like the issue with the state regulations. But
This
that's
water,
why,
this water is like 70 degrees.
oh,
Crazy.
sounds so good.
70, 75 degrees. It's like, it's silly. It's just like, why, when you're there and you see the different colors, you see like the turquoise, the blue, whatever. You're just
Uh,
like, why would I live anywhere else? Right.
Yeah, that's kind of actually. You guys should watch this thing on Netflix as well. This before I'll close it up. But Amazing Vacation Getaways, and one of the episodes are in
Oh yeah, I think I
Miami.
saw that one with
Did you
the
see
house.
the house is on the water, and the house,
Yeah,
David, you should check it out. It's like a boat really, and it docks up, and it has like risers or pillars that rise the boat off the ground, off the water. Then they drop it and they go out, and it only goes. I don't know if they said I don't know how many knots it was, but it equates to 5 miles per hour,
but
and it wasn't fast, but it's like yeah, but you can and it's
you can
six.
go.
You can go and be in the middle of the water and have parties, and then the
Yeah.
deck expanded. It's like what?
The other
It's like
thing,
wild.
it's funny and it's annoying because they're attractive people. Like there's like one guy and two girls,
Yeah,
and they're all attractive.
yeah,
Like they're very attractive, and then they have these parties. In each episode, they have like a party, and it's like more attractive people.
yeah.
And it's just like it makes you feel like shit. You're just like, damn, man. Like when I have parties, it doesn't look like that.
Yeah, my parties are
Um,
never that fun.
but it does look like it's like that house that was able to just go off and off the bay and then just go into the water. It costs like $2 million or something like that, and then it costs an extra fee to leave
Higher,
this.
yeah,
Yeah, to leave, which I thought was interesting because some of these brownstones in New York are like 18 million, 20 million. And you're just like, how do you have like that thing can float? Like I can move.
move.
I can go around anyway. I don't know. It's all weird and I'm sure it makes sense, or maybe it doesn't make sense. Real estate probably never makes sense really.
But it's worth watching. I mean, watches out there, bro.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I did want to say one thing before we wrap up because I know we'll wrap up after this. I just wanted to reflect. I had some time to reflect on some things I learned from doing this podcast, and I really appreciate being on the podcast with you guys. I'm not dying, so or not yet.
Okay.
Here we go.
Lord knows, but it's been good. It's been good. We've been listening to a lot of guests, learning a lot from them. Most recently I spoke about composting and how I've been doing that more, and that's been really effective. So David, just to follow up, because David wasn't here last week, but I started doing the composting, and my house smelled like shit. It had fruit flies. So, but no, but I'm just playing. But I put the bag in the freezer. Jacques had made mention to putting it in the freezer, so I made some room, and then that helped freeze the stuff. And then it also like concentrated it because it wasn't just like lying there open. It started like folding. And there's a spot that's right across the street from me, so I take it out more frequently. I'm not waiting at the end of the week in order to toss it out. I was just taking it out at the end of the day, so that's really helpful.
You
So
froze your trash, bro?
froze the compostables, or is it compost? Or yeah, compostables or compostables. I don't know. I feel like it's New York, so you could say it however you want, and people could feel how they feel about it, and that's it. So I'm doing that. That's been really helpful. Going back to one of our earlier episodes where we did the whole nutrition, we did like habit setting and goal setting with each other. The roasted vegetables have been a staple of mine since I've had that episode. So I don't think I've ever said it or followed up with it, but I make some mean roasted veggies, and I've been doing it having that every week. So I'm sure that's helping some part of my nutrition system in my gut. So that's been pretty good. And then also the sleep. I mean, the blackout curtains are a game changer. Now that I'm, out of town, I'm, in a different spot, and I noticed how good my sleep is at home. It's unbelievable because, sometimes you go to other places and you're just like, damn, I got the best sleep of my life because nobody's doing this or nobody's doing that. But it's like, nah, man, I get the best sleep at home now because everything's just set up. The blackout curtains, whatever, the shutting off the devices, the electronics, reading, the journaling, all that shit is just locked in so much that I'm excited to go back at least to get good sleep. Everything else is probably whatever, but I know it was hot as hell. But I just wanted to follow up on all those things. Those are some of the things that I learned from doing the podcast with you guys, and it was good. It's been good so far.
I'm glad that you mentioned that. That's good. Game changer is definitely the blackout curtains, but I don't want to cut you off. And David wants to say something before we wrap up. The blackout curtains. We have something as well where we have things to block out the light in our windows, not in this room, the other one, and it's like just no light. It's good.
I don't think that'll help me. My neighbors love to, just put some, get some fireworks going till 4 or 5 in the morning. Playing their music in the car, blasting.
Oh my
so,
god.
So I don't think the blackout curtains are gonna do anything. So
oh my god.
Unless I wear earplugs, but then if there's an emergency and I'm just
I know,
knocked
that's the only
out,
fear about it.
and I'm like, wait, what?
Fear about it.
But yeah.
Yeah,
All
it's
right.
pretty crazy.
I need
I
to get
think
a
about
body
that.
pillow. That's what I need to get.
Oh yeah, that works well. I've heard.
I have something to snuggle up on for my back.
If there are any people that are listening that might want to snuggle with
back,
David,
my lower back. I don't want my lower back to hurt.
that's true. No, my back would be killing me, but I have these pillows. I just got some new pillows last week. It's the best. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Oh
Cool.
man.
All right.
Should we pick up next time?
Yeah, let's wrap it up next time, and we'll catch you guys in the next episode.
Let's let Angel
Go on, guys.
Swim with the fishies.
Yeah, enjoy Miami, man.
Thanks. Later. Bye.